So we are going straight away to April 2023, question 3B. April 2023, question number 3, boy. April 2023, question number 3, boy. April 2023, question number 3, boy. Are we there? Are we there? Are we there? Yeah, we shall upload it. We shall upload it. That one, rest assured. Are we there? April. Great. Great. April 2023, question number 3, boy. It's quite a very interesting question that if I were an examiner, would want to make people sweat. Would want to make people sweat in an exam. I would try something from this angle. Catherine has gotten it. For the sake of Elizabeth, are you able, in this case yet, Elizabeth may not be having access to the papers. Is there somebody, a good Samaritan, who will be able to share this question here as I continue? And I'm so sure there are those students who have never, great. Those students who have never seen this ninja before. My name is Dr. Joshua Aura, all right? I only come to assist students towards the end of the semester, immediately before exams. Now you'll be able to see how I jump in. Before your exams next week, you'll be able to see Mwalimu coming in, not once, but many times, all right? So April 2023, question number 3B, what have they told us? Yeah, the price of the share at the end of year 2023, assuming dividend is not declared. I'm reading the question. It's always good to read the required. The price of the share at the end of year 2023, assuming dividend is declared. 3, the number of new shares to be issued in B1 and B2 above. So Bright Moon Limited currently owns 100,000 outstanding ordinary shares with a market price of shillings 10 per share. The firm has 1 million earnings after tax. So the profit after tax is what here? Is 1 million, and intends to invest 2 million during the year 2023. So the investment in this case here is 2 million. The firm is also considering declaring a dividend of 5 per share at the end of the year. The firm's opportunity cost is 10%. So they want us to give them the price of the share at the end of 2023, assuming dividend is not declared. So they want us to give them P1. The price of the share at the end of 2023, assuming dividend is not declared. Is not declared. Very good. Very good. So somebody should be able to help Elsie. Very good. So these guys want me to give them the value of a share. Very, very confusing, really. Value of a share. But Mwalimu, we are used to the DVM, dividend valuation model. And the dividend valuation model, we know that to value a share, PO, to value a share, PO, we normally talk of something like DO, blah, 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 like that. This one, they don't want you to use this dividend valuation model. They want you to use some form of a discounted cash flow model, which says that anybody who invests in a share, when you invest in a share, what do you expect to do? At the end of the year, you expect to get your dividend 1. Remember, this model, we only use this model for people who are going to sell their shares at the end of year 1. At the end of year 1. So in this case here, the 2 cash flows you will get when you sell your share, you'll be able to get your dividend at the end of year 1, and you'll be able to get, in this case here, the price of the share at the end of year 1 released to you. So these are the 2 cash flows. All right. So these 2 cash flows, now what do? You discount them. So you come and divide this with 1 plus R or 1 plus KE. So Roman 1 of the question is a scenario where we are not going to declare any dividend. So Roman 1 is a situation of 0 dividend. Is a situation of 0 dividend, i.e. D1, no dividend is declared. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Are you able to see, PO is today's market price per share. Are you able to see the market price per share over each share today? Is there somebody who is able to see the market price per share today? From the beginning, Brightmoon Limited currently owns 100,000 outstanding ordinary shares with a market price of what year? A market price of 10. So this is already vividly seen here. So PO is 10. D1, you can see we are not declaring for Roman 1, we're not declaring any dividend, no dividend. P1 is what we want, price at the end of the year. All over 1 plus, are you guys able to see the required return in the question? Required return in this question will be the cost of capital. Are you guys able to see the cost of capital here? Yeah, it is 10%, isn't it? So you see in finance 10%, you write this as 0.1. You write this as 0.1. You write this as 0.1. Write this as 0.1. All right. And then now you can, this and this gives me 1.1. When I cross multiply, how will this look like? When I cross multiply, this will be 10 times 1.1 equals 0 plus P1, that is P1. Therefore, P1 will be 11. P1 will be 11. So remember this model, you take the prospective cash flows. You as a shareholder, who is going to sell this share at the end of year 1? All right, you shall get dividends and you shall get what year? The value of your share once you release it. Yeah, so up to here, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the Roman 1. Are we together here? Up to here, are we together? I'm so happy because now I can see the numbers are going into their 80s. Yeah, and then now you go to Roman 2. So Roman 2, what do they want? So Roman 2, what these people want, they want you to declare a dividend. They want you to declare a dividend. So Roman 2, they want you to declare a dividend. So under Roman 2, we are declaring a dividend. And Roman 2, declare a dividend of 5 shillings. I.e. D1 is what? D1 is 5. So if we declare a dividend of 5 bob, then what will be happening? Remember, they have told us somewhere there, the last sentence of this question, the firm is also considered declaring a dividend of 5 per share at the end of the year. At the end of the year. At the end of the year. And then now we have here, Roman 2, the price of the share at the end of year 2023, assuming dividend now is done what year? Assuming dividend is declared. I think the ninja was telling me to pardon part 1. You'll be able to understand from this when I do part 2. Trust you me. So now here, remember we are declaring a dividend of what year? A dividend of 5. We're still making use of this same formula. We are still making use of this same formula. PO will remain the same. And the PO, the current price is what you guys give me as 10 into D1. D1 now that is being declared is 5. Do we know the price at the end of year 1 at that particular end of that particular year? No. That's what we are looking for. It's P1. All over 1 plus R, our R is 0.1. So 1 plus 0.1, this gives us 1.1. This gives us 1.1. This gives us 1.1. This gives us 1.1. All right. All right. So then go ahead and now do your cross multiplications now. Go ahead and do your cross multiplication. So cross multiplication, that would mean what here? 10 times 1.1 equals 5 plus P1. So very good. I can see what Daniela? Okay. So this is 11. 11 equals 5 plus P1. So make P1 the subject of the formula. Make P1 the subject of the formula. So if you make P1 the subject of the formula, then what will you end up getting? This 5 comes the other side. On this side, it's positive. On the other side, it will be negative. So 11 minus 5 gives me 6. So it means that P1 is 6. P1 is 6. Are we okay up to there, ladies and gentlemen? Are we okay up to there, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think so. This guy who had told me to pardon, I believe you're also now quite well synced with what Mwalimu is doing. If you aren't, please don't hesitate telling me to repeat, but I believe the way I've done this, I've connected, I'm so sure. I'm so sure. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So then we can now go to Roman 3. Now we can go to Roman 3. Now we can go to Roman number 3. So Roman number 3 is the easiest, which I normally get students in this case here really confusing. But at the end of the day, I like this. Very easy stuff. Very easy stuff. So they want us to give them the number of new shares to be issued in B1 and B2 above. It's all about financing. It's all about financing. It's all about financing. It's all about financing. Techno, don't worry. You'll overcome Techno. You'll overcome. You'll overcome. This semester, your FM will be very easy. Very easy. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember here, we have our total investment. So this total investment here, how will it be financed? So the financing here, of course, we shall have what we call retained earnings. Retained earnings. Yeah, retained earnings. And then, of course, we shall be able to issue shares here. Issue shares. Issue shares. So anytime you see retained or the total investment, always there will be retained earnings to go into this investment here. All right. All right. And then now we shall be able to issue what here? We shall be able to issue shares. Ah, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, what is our total investment amount? Total investment amount is 2 million. And then we have in this case here, retained earnings. And then now we have here issue shares. This is how you do it. But again, how do we get retained earnings? Oh, sorry. How do we get retained earnings? Retained earnings. It's very easy. To get retained earnings, we normally take profit after tax minus dividends paid. Minus dividends paid. So now I would want us to look at Roman 1, or rather, this question has got, look at this question. Roman 3, they want us to give them the number of new shares to be issued in case of Roman 1. In case of Roman 1. What was happening in Roman 1? Is there somebody who can remind us what was happening in Roman 1? What was happening in Roman 1? Yeah, we shall upload purity. We shall upload. No dividend. No dividend. So Roman 1, 0 dividend. So Roman 1, 0 dividend. Now, is there somebody who is able to remind us what the profit after tax was? Profit after tax is similar, regardless. Profit after tax is similar. Yeah, 1 million. 1 million. And you've told me no dividend. So remember, Roman 1, we are looking at how many shares do we issue in a situation where there is no dividend? In a situation where there is no dividend. In a situation where there is no dividend. So we are going to retain everything. We're going to retain the entire profit after tax. We're going to retain the entire profit after tax. Now, again, remind me, in situations where there are no dividend, are you able to tell me what our P1 is? Because we have done this in Roman 1. Are you able to tell me what our P1 is? Yeah, because we have done this in Roman 1. So our P1 is 11. No dividend, P1 is 11. Thank you so much. So then these will end up giving me 1 million. But now you see, this 1 million cannot cover the entire 2 million. So we need to issue shares. So the shares to be issued will be how much for us to get, ladies and gentlemen, 2 million? I know you guys are bright. We must issue shares of how much here? We must issue shares of 1 million. Because you see, these retained earnings and the shares to be issued must add up to the total investment of 2 million. I don't know whether we're together really here. I don't know whether we're together because you've said total investment will be equal to retained earnings, which is 1 million, plus issued shares. Total investment is 2 million, retained earnings here is 1 million. So you can see if we make issued shares the subject, it will end up being a million. It will end up being 1 million. It will end up being 1 million. Yeah, people are saying we are not. I don't know why, and it's a straightforward thing. To me, this is really straightforward. So long as you tell me, in this case here, you can see this simple mathematics. We know that total investment is 2 million. All right. Retained earnings, we've been able to calculate retained earnings because dividends is 0. So 1 million. Then how much are we going to issue in form of shares? Call that X. Take this to the other side. So X will be 1 million. X will be 1 million. X will be 1 million. All right. And once you know the shares to be issued at 1 million, then you will be able to get now the nose. How do we get nose? Stands for number of what year? Number of shares issued. Nose stands for number of shares issued. So I will take the amount over the P1 issue price. So the amount here is 1 million. Amount of shares to be issued is 1 million over this 11, like that. So how many shares are we talking about? How many shares are we talking about here? To try to be a bit tougher, you'll be able to see there is nothing really here. Nothing really here. So number of shares, remember this stands for number of shares to be issued. You take the amount of the shares over P1, divided by 11. So 1 million divided by 11. Divided by 11, what are we getting here? 1999. So you're getting here 99 like that. Thank you very much. So for you to be able to be tough a little bit, I would want you to try the second part. So the second part is where we are getting number of shares to be issued, given dividend of 5 and a P1 of 11. No, not 11, 6. 6. Remember investment is still 2 million. Remember that still we have investment is 2 million. We still have what here? We still have the PAT. The PAT is 1 million. This remains. So then is there somebody who is able to give me this answer here? I'm giving you 2 minutes exactly. 2 minutes exactly. Try to give me this answer we see. I'm giving you 2 minutes exactly. Try to give me this answer. I can see from Bore to 50,000. Let's see. Let's try. So the very first thing that I will do is to give them the total dividends. So come here and ascertain the total dividends. So total dividends will be the dividend that I would be paying times the current number of shares. Is there somebody who is able to see the current number of shares that we have? How many shares do we have currently? How many shares do we have currently? Daniela, 100,000. I hope everybody is able to see that 100,000. 100,000. So times 100,000. Thank you so much. So this gives me 500. You know, shares or the dividends will be pegged on the people that we have today, number of shares that we have today, 500,000. And then now once I do this, this is very good. So the next thing will be for me to draw. That tree is very, very important. That tree is very, very important. So I will come and draw my tree where basically I write investments. I write investments of 2 million. I'll draw this. Once I draw this, I've gotten everything right. So once I draw this, I know that my investments, we've got two vehicles in this kind of a question. We've got two vehicles of financing this. We have retained earnings, and then we have issue of shares. Issue of shares amount. Now, how do we get retained earnings? It's PAT minus dividends. PAT minus dividends. PAT remains at 1 million. Dividends, how much are we going to pay? Dividends, how much are we going to pay? 500,000. So then we retain in the farm 500,000. So in the farm, we retain 500,000. So this will go to the bucket of investments. So then the balance, we shall be able to get the balance from shares issued. So then how much shall we be able to put here? How much shall we be able to put? Somebody here, please talk to me. How much? Adjust the camera. Sorry. Are you able to tell me in this case here how much we shall be able to put here? Somebody kindly, because we know now from retained earnings, we're getting 500,000. So here we're going to put 1.5 million. Because you see, the two must add up to the total investment. The two must add up to the total investment. And then now to get number of shares, the way I do it myself, number of shares to be issued, I'll always take this figure from here. You divide with your P1. You divide with your P1, which is 6. You take the number that is there. You don't have to write so much. You say number of shares to be issued. It will be 1.5 million divided by 6. Divided by 6. So shall we be able to get that 250,000? So I'm so sure it may not be like that direct, but I'm also sure that you guys, if you get this kind of a question now in an exam, you'll be able to pin it down very, very well. You may not be able to get all the marks. Actually, I'm also one among those people who don't love that excellence. No, it is about what here? It's about keeping on improving. You improve every other day. So long as you've got that drive, that desire, you keep on improving every other day. So can I go to a different question? And of course, as I go to this different question, today's hashtag is the HELB loans. HELB loans, which are available for the KASNEB students. All KASNEB students, the government has made your life very easy. Now you can apply for HELB loans, which will be able to cover your entire year studies. And those HELB loans go for a very, very minimum interest rates of 6% for a whole year, 6% for a whole year. And then, of course, somebody will be able to come to you after 3 years, to ask you for that loan amount. And your age is not a factor here. Even if you are old and you still want this HELB loan, you'll be able to get it. It's quite a nice thing. Like the students who applied last semester at RCM College, they got up to 60,000. When you get 60,000 and our fees is about 15,000 a term, I mean, they have paid fees for you for 4 semesters. All right, which is really, really very good. So if there is anybody who is interested with these HELB loans, this is the number that you need to call. Call a lady here called RISPA, and you'll be sorted out. 0793 555 000. So are they ready now for the next question? Are they ready for the next? Yeah, thank you very much, Techno. It doesn't matter. Actually, most of the students who got this HELB loan at RCM are students who had HELB loans when, of course, they were doing their undergraduates. Yeah, if you did undergraduate and you got assistance through that HELB loan that time, you still qualify for this one because these are different line. Yeah, and there are students who are very, very lucky. They are defaulted the other one, and still they got this other one here. So they are not very keen at the moment, even if you are defaulted the other one. But what I normally tell students, if you can, please, once you get a job, start paying your HELB loan. Pay it faithfully so that you can pass the ball to some other needy student. Pass the ball. Pass the ball. Yeah, once you get a job like this, immediately start paying your HELB loan. Immediately start paying your HELB loan. All right. Thank you for that question. All right. All right. Yeah, and currently about now 400 students, like now they have gotten, in this case here, their loans here to study with us from next term. People are really doing things. People are making applications here. People are doing things. People are doing things. People are doing things. And then, of course, the YouTubers, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, even if you've never paid a single cent, trust you, it'll go through. It'll go through, but ensure that you start paying, my friend, because I know you have some income. Please ensure that you start paying. You want that money to go to somebody else. All right. So the YouTubers, ensure that you're subscribing. Don't forget.